Do you want to live a happier and longer life? I recently read this book called Ikigai by Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles, and it was kind of fascinating to get an insight of people who became 100 years old or even older, what kind of habits they have and how they structure their life to stay fit, healthy, and have a clear mind in an old age. So I want to share 4 kind of key takeaways I got out of this book, and also what kind of lessons the people which became 100 years and older shared in this book in an interview series. So it's kind of these 2 parts I want to share with you. First, the 4 kind of pillars or key takeaways for me, and then the kind of lessons the people who got very old shared in this book in this interview series. So Ikigai is a Japanese word which describes finding your purpose or your calling in life. So you have to find what is really your life's purpose and what you should do with your life to live a long and happy life. So the first pillar is do what you love. Of course, everyone should do what they love, but most of the people, not some people, they have to pay the bills and get a job to pay the bills. But you can do what you love in your spare time and really build on this hobby or kind of passion you have to make a job out of it, maybe one day. So you can spend some time after work for your hobby or this one thing you love doing, and then you can build on it, and maybe one day you can make a job out of it and earn your income from doing what you. So the second principle or concept is do what you are good at. According to the concept of Ikigai, if you do what you are good at and you do what you love, this forms this kind of passion you have. And if you think about your coworkers or your colleagues at work, there's always someone who's really good at what he or she is doing, and that's because of they do what they love, so they combine these 2 principles and so they can excel in their work. So the third concept or pillar is do what you can be paid for. If you build skill which you are really good at, or you have this kind of niche expertise where you can charge people money for, that's one thing which, according to Ikigai, can be very helpful to build this life happier and live a longer life. Because of if you can be paid for, of course you can pay the bills and you can sustain your lifestyle or just live a life you really enjoy. So the 4th pillar is do what the world really needs. So if you combine what you're good at and it has this kind of greater meaning and purpose to help people which are in need or to solve problems for humankind, this is kind of a key component where the 2 things come together. Do what you can be paid for and do what the world needs. So that could be your vocation. And if you combine all these 4 pillars together, the chances are very high you can live a longer and happier life. Of course, there's no guarantee, as always in life, there is no guarantee for anything. But if you stick to these concepts and rules, it could all come together and you can have this happy and long life you dreamed about. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are interviews with centenarians who are people who are 100 years old or even older, and they share their habits or what they experience to live a long and happy life. So I want to get into some principles of them. So that's kind of the bonus of the 4 pillars I recently talked about. So the first concept is not worrying too much. The experience of the people who live a long and happy life, they are recommend to get along with people and get on the street, say hello to strangers, and not causing problems with other people and fighting and arguing with them. So being more lighthearted and not so stubborn and being more at ease. So the second one is cultivating good habits. There are many people in Okinawa, which is a part of Japan, where most centenarians live, people who are 100 years and older, and they cultivate these good habits. For example, getting up early in the morning or caring for the vegetable garden. And they have a saying, keeping your head and your fingers busy. So they try to cultivate that with their habits and stick to their habits. So they have this kind of same day every day, and they stick to their habits, which lead to a healthy, happy, and longer life. So the third tip is being social and meeting friends every day. Especially the people interviewed in Japan, they meet friends daily, they gather together on a daily basis and play games or have fun, go for a walk, and they're very social. And some of them say the key component for their long and happy life is being such a social person and getting around with other people and meet friends, and that's kind of the key component to stay this fit, healthy, and to live this longer and happier. The last one is living a slow life. This doesn't mean you're not getting done anything on a day, but this means not doing this multitasking and doing a lot of stuff on one day. So it means to live a kind of mindful life, living in the moment and not hurrying so much and rushing through the day. So you really be aware of your thoughts and your life and the actions you take, so you live this life at the fullest. So the last tip, it's kind of a bonus one. It's because it unites like the other ones together, and it's being optimistic, because being optimistic and being grateful for what you got let you live more at ease, as I mentioned in the first tip, and also lets you be more living in the moment as the last tip. So this kind of mixes them all up together and unites the 4 tips together, kind of unites them together. Doesn't make any sense, but I think you got the point. I really recommend reading this book, because it's not that thick if you don't like reading thick books and you're not that kind of person who wants to read a lot. But it sums up all the kind of tips and tweaks to live this happier and longer life and not get too distracted by all the stuff that's going on in our modern world, and to focus on what really matters, as the tips and the pillars I mentioned before. So if you like this video, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, and if you want to have more videos like this, let me know in the comments. And as always, see you next time.